Welcome, child. Indeed. The temple here in the city is my charge. The goddess's divine blessings have no doubt helped make Whiterun a thriving and prosperous city. After all, it is she who brings rain to our crops and fair weather on the harvest days. Somewhat, yes. At first it seemed a distant thing, heard only in the idle speech. When the wounded soldiers began to return from battle, I did what I could. As more of the sick and injured came to the temple, my work as a healer became more important. I wish only an end to the fighting, so that I can tend to the temple once more. This is the Temple of Kinareth. The Gildegreen outside was planted as a seedling in the early years. Disciples of Kinareth could sense something holy in it, and traveled far to hear the winds of the goddess in its branches. Of course, not as many pilgrims these days. To the east of here is a hidden grove where the Eldergleam resides. It's the oldest living thing in... Our tree here in the city was grown from a cutting of that tree. You can even its name is an echo. I've thought about... I think if we had some of the sap from the parent tree, we could wake up its child. But even if you could get to the elder... If you want to head, you'll have to deal with the... It's called Nettlebane. Your spirit is... It's held in a Hagraven nest called Orphan Rock. So, have you got a Nettlebane back? It's an old tree, very old. The sap is precious. It can restore barren fields or bring life to rocks. Yorick's sister? Thank you for this. Something for your trouble. May Kinareth's winds blow you fortune. So, have you got a Nettlebane back from those filthy hag ravens yet?
Help! I'm being attacked!
Welcome, child. Indeed. The temple here, the goddess's divine... After all, it is she who brings rain to our crops and... Somewhat, yes. At first it seemed a distant... When the wounded soldiers began to return from battle, as more of the sick and injured came to the temple, my work as a healer... I wish only an end to the fighting, so that I can tend to the temple once more. Yorick's sister? Poor child. Magic runs deep in that family's bloodline. Thank you for this. Something for your trouble. Grace of Kinareth be with you.
can take you to any of the hold capitals. Where do you want to go? Climb and back, and we'll be off. Nice weather for a ride. Hope it lasts.
You ask me, not enough of Winterhold fell off into the sea.
I'll sell just about anything if it's worth my time. I do what's necessary so we can get... Wasn't by choice. Options were in... Without the coin to pack up and leave, I decided to take to trading. Very funny. I'm sure you've noticed that Winterhold isn't so I'll sell whatever I can. If it's worth putting up... I've been burned a few times, made a few bad deals, but mostly I come out on top. Yeah, it was stupid of me. I shouldn't have believed the story and just refused the trade. But I didn't, and now I'm... Some line about this clothing and Ingol Barrow. He said it was worth more than its weight in gold if... Something about placing it back in Ingol's chamber, I don't know. What was I thinking? Even if it were true, I'm not setting foot in some ancient tomb filled with who knows... I don't even care anymore. You want to check it out? Fine. I'll sell you the thing for 50 gold, and then it's your problem. Fine, here you go. You get killed on account of this thing, it's not my fault. Got it? But I suppose if it does actually turn out to be worth something, let me know, will you? Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that. All right, then.
Can I help you?
Kraldar's family was once very powerful in Winterhold. It's my honor to assist him even now.
Winterhold may not look impressive, but it has a very rich history. Winterhold was once the capital of Skyrim, you know. Quite an honor. Goodness, no. They're simply scholars. They mean no one harm. I've had several conversations with Archmage Aaron over the years. Oh, he's perfectly polite, if a bit guarded. I'm afraid the Winterhold you see before you is somewhat... I can assure you, though, that it was quite something in its prime. An early capital of Skyrim, you know. Sadly, the Oblivion Crisis took its toll on Winterhold, in more ways than one. Then, the Great Collapse swallowed most of our beloved city. Just about 80 years ago, there was a terrible disaster. The cliffs overlooking the Sea of Ghosts collapsed. In the middle of it all, the college was practically untouched. Many of the survivors, some believed the mages were behind the whole thing, and others felt. Archmage Aaron assures me that his people had nothing to do with it, and I believe him. But Winterhold never recovered. You may have noticed the college just to the north there. Very prestigious. After the Oblivion Crisis was over, many felt that magic users were to blame. Elves, to be specific. It created a great deal of tension. A good many dark elves were driven from the city, and people became uncomfortable with the presence of the college.
Kraldar's family was once very powerful in Winterhold. It's my honor to assist him even now. Kraldar's family was once very powerful in Winterhold. It's my honor to assist him even now.
cross the bridge at your own peril. The way is dangerous, and the gate will not open. You shall not gain entry. I am here to assist those seeking the wisdom of the college. And if, in the process, my presence helps to deter those who might seek to do harm, so be it. The more important question is, why are you here? Oh, forgive me. Most who arrive here do so because they have heard of the This is the College of Winterhold, a safe haven for mages in Skyrim, a place of wisdom and arcane knowledge. Perhaps, but what is it you expect to find within? Huh, humor is often in short supply here. But I sense that perhaps you're after more than just that. It would seem that the college has what you seek. The question now is, what can you offer the college? Not just anyone is allowed inside. Those wishing to enter must show some degree of skill with magic. A small test, if you will. No, I'm afraid I don't know anything of the sort. Excellent. The Flame Atronach is a vital companion for anyone relying on conjuration. Summoning one here would certainly show your skill. I look forward to it. Much knowledge lies within the college's walls. Well done indeed. I think you'll be a superb addition to the college. Welcome, apprentice. I'll lead you across the bridge. Once you're inside, you'll want to speak with Mirabelle Irvine, our master wizard. Please, follow me. Winterhold's glory days may lie behind it, but the college lives on. The college is an asset to Skyrim, even if it goes unnoticed or unappreciated. No matter what, the college will endure. Winterhold's glory days may lie behind it, but the college lives on. You'll need to speak with Mirabelle Irvine. Her quarters are in the Hall of Countenance, but she could be anywhere on the grounds. She's the master wizard here. Archmage Aaron may be in charge, but Mirabelle runs. You do well to remember that. We are the only group left in Skyrim dedicated to the study of the arcane. There are others who study, to be sure, but they do so in private and often in secret. Certainly. Destruction spells come in different forms, each useful for various purposes. Concentration spells can be cast immediately, though they're weaker. Good for a tight spot and less costly if you miss. You'll also need to decide whether to devote yourself to a single type of spell. Focusing solely on flame spells will make them more powerful, but you may find yourself at a disadvantage against foes immune to fire. I can teach you, but I won't be held responsible for what you do with the knowledge. Spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them. Mirabelle will be waiting for you.
I believe I've made myself rather clear.
Yes, of course. I'm simply trying to understand the reasoning behind the decision.
You may be used to the Empire bowing to your every whim, but I'm afraid you'll find the Thalmor received no such treatment here. You are a guest of the college, here at the pleasure of the Archmage. I hope you appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, of course. The Archmage has my thanks.
Very good. Then we're done. Welcome to the college. Another new student. I'm surprised at how many of you there are lately. Well, first you'll need these. While you're not required to wear them, you may find them more to your liking than your current clothes. I'll give you a brief tour, and then we'll get you to your first class. Are you ready to begin? Wonderful. Please follow me, and don't wander off. The College of Winterhold. Been a fixture in Skyrim for thousands of years. The prominent feature here is the Hall of the Elements. It's our primary location for lectures, practice sessions, and general meetings. The Arcanium is located above the hall, and the Archmage's quarters above that. While technically in charge of the college, the Archmage's responsibilities often keep him occupied. Thus, I run the day-to-day operations. Now, if you'll please follow me, I'll show you the living quarters. Unfortunately, we've had to implement more stringent entry procedures due to some problems with the local Nords. We don't anticipate any real violence, but it never hurts to be prepared. Our newest members are housed here, in the Hall of Opinion. I'll ask that you please keep your voice down while inside, as others may be working on research or delicate experiments. After I finish showing you the grounds, we can talk. Now I'll show you to your quarters. You're going to be sharing space with your fellow apprentices, who you'll meet shortly. This is where you'll be staying. This bed and desk are yours. Please try and be considerate of others. Now, let's go back to the Hall of the Elements, where most of the members gather for lectures and study sessions.
I think the college is due for a change in leadership. It's lies. All of it. I don't care what she told you. It's all lies. Feralda, don't act like she didn't say anything. I know her, and I know what she's been up to. My problem with her? She's the one who has a problem with me. She's threatened by me, by my skill as a wizard, by my elegance and posture, by my superior good looks. But she is not going to get the better of me. Oh no, I won't let it get to me one bit. That's what she's after. She's trying to undermine my confidence, make me doubt myself. Well, it won't work, I tell you. All right then.
Even with the... Let me give you a bit of advice. You want to work on something that's not officially allowed? Don't tell anyone you're doing it. You need something you're not officially supposed to have? You come see me. You tell anyone that I told you, and I'll fry you from the inside out. Got it? Huh? Good. There are some experiments the college frowns on, if they're aware of them, of course. Purposely killing your fellow college members is a bad idea. I'd advise against it. Theft and assault can get you into trouble as well. As for research, well, A sufficient explanation will cover almost anything. If you're going to need live test subjects for your experiments, it's easier to do that off of college grounds. I hope you've got some coin. Let's just take a look then.
Initially, you'll be learning from Tolfdir, one of our most esteemed wizards. Tolfdir is likely already addressing the new apprentices. Go on in, and if you have any problems, let one of our senior members know.
What you learn here will last you a lifetime. Several, if you're talented. You are new here, are you not? We have not spoken. Sir? How quaint. I am Savos Arin, Archmage of the College of Winterhold. I am quite content to see nearly any aspect of magic explored and investigated here. But I do not and will not approve of any research or experiments. Are we clear? Not often, no. Some risks must be taken, to be sure. I am simply trying to avoid untimely deaths. We also must make an effort to avoid worsening what Skyrim thinks of us. I've seen documents dating back to the late Second Era. Beyond that, it's hard to say. Events in the last several hundred years resulted in a significant loss of our history, I'm afraid. The Great Collapse, as it has come to... An unfortunate natural disaster that ravaged the area. The college fared far better than the city of Winterhold, but it was not left untouched. No one is... I know there are some who have blamed the college, said that we were responsible. I assure you this is not the case. Purpose? I should think it's self-evident. Magic is a true power, not something to be shunned by It shapes worlds, creates and destroys life. It deserves proper respect. The college is a place where we can focus on that, without the pressures of the world weighing down on us. The Sea of Ghosts practically came alive. No one was expecting it. Monstrous waves battered the shore for weeks on end. Winterhold was ancient and weathered, but it couldn't withstand the sea's fury. The waves receded in time, but the damage was irreversible. Most residents of Winterhold abandoned what was left of the city. The college survived, and so here we remain.
Another new apprentice, I see. Are you of the sort that believe you're here to change the world? Or are you only in it for yourself? I assure you that I shall be watching you, all of you, very closely. Your superior and I were simply having a discussion about my level of access to the college. Well, perhaps that is why you're merely an apprentice here. Nothing you need to concern yourself with. I shall be quite capable of observing everything that goes on here. I am an advisor to the Archmage. The Thalmor wish to promote relations with your college. I am at the Archmage's disposal if he requires advice. Now that stability has been established between the Dominion and the Empire, we seek only to help Skyrim, to guide its people through this time of transition, to help lead them to a better future. Perhaps not as often as he should. In time, I believe he will be more trusting.
I think the college is due for a change in leadership.
Enchanted. The local Nords may not like us very much, but they don't seem to mind having access to enchanted weapons and armor. I'm sure you can figure it out on your own. If you can't, perhaps Urag has a book you can read. My pleasure. You've come to the right place. I'd be happy to teach you. All right, then.
Welcome, welcome. We were just beginning. Please, stay and listen. So, as I was saying, the first thing to understand is that magic is, by its very nature, volatile and dangerous. Unless you can control it, it can and will destroy you.
Sir, I think we all understand that fairly well. We wouldn't be here if we couldn't control magic.
Of course, my dear, of course. You all certainly possess some inherent natural ability. That much is not being questioned. What I'm talking about is true control, mastery of magic. It takes years, if not decades, of practice and study.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's get started.
Please, please. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Eagerness must be tempered with caution, or else disaster is inevitable.
But we've only just arrived here. You've no idea what any of us are capable of. Why not give us a chance to show you what we can do?
You've been quiet so far. What do you think we should do? Is that so?
See, she agrees with us too. Why don't you actually show us something?
All right, let's settle down. I suppose we can try something practical. In continuing with our theme of safety, we'll start with wards. Wards are protective spells that block magic. I'll teach you all a ward, and we'll see if you can successfully use it to block spells, all right? Would you mind helping me with the demonstration? Are you at all familiar with ward spells? That's all right. I can teach you a very basic ward, one that's enough for the purposes of this lesson. Now, if you'll just stand right over there, I'll cast a spell at you, and you block it with the ward. Here we go. Over there, please. Just opposite. Wouldn't want anyone else in the way. Now, cast the ward spell and keep it up. Hold still. Excellent work. Well, I think this is an excellent start. Like you ought to continue practicing with ward. Please. I think perhaps we're ready to begin exploring some of the various applications of magic throughout history. The college has undertaken a fascinating excavation in the ruins of Sarthal nearby. It's an excellent learning opportunity. I suggest we meet there in a few hours and see what awaits us inside. That's all for now. Thank you.
Skyrim could not be more different from elsewhere. But magic is the same.
College is a bit of an oddity in Skyrim. Magic isn't something that's looked upon fondly here.
Jazargo will go wherever he can to learn more. Oblivion itself is...
New here too, eh? I'd hoped I wouldn't be the only Nord, but I should have known better. Magic is shunned by most. If it can't be swung over your head and used to crack skulls, most Nords want nothing to do with it. Magic is seen as something for elves and weaker races. No offense, of course. Not at all. I consider it a blessing. My family was convinced coming here was a death sentence, or worse. It took years of insisting that this is what I'm meant to do. I know he's from the Thalmor, and that he claims to be here simply as an advisor. I also know that no one really believes that. I've been trying to avoid him, honestly. Well, look at the evidence. Nords generally don't trust magic, so it's not off to a good start. Throw in the Oblivion Crisis, which was caused by magic users, and the troubles now with the Aldmeri Dominion, who are elves and magic users. And finally, take the fact that the college is the only thing left standing after most of Winterhold was destroyed. It's all fairly damning. I'd better get going.
Khajiit, not known as... You are new, yes? Have you mastered the expert-level distraction spells yet? Is it? This is disappointing. Jazargo hoped there might be one who could keep pace with his accomplishments. Oh, but you are wrong. The only reason you could disagree is because you are losing so badly you cannot see it. Mages and Cyrodiil are all about politics. The Synod and the College of Whispers are too busy guarding secrets. Skyrim was not Jazargo's first choice, but Winterhold is removed from politics, dedicated to study. This is the place for Jazargo to become great. There is much for Jazargo to be sure of. There is skill in magic, there is charm, and there is a strong will. Jazargo will be successful. Of this there is no doubt. There is much for Jazargo to be sure of. There is skill in magic, there is charm, and there is a strong will. Jazargo will be successful. Of this there is no doubt. Oh yes, Jazargo hopes to find things that will make him a more powerful mage here. Hopefully small things that fit inside pockets and will not be noticed if they are missing. May you walk on warm sands.
What you learn here will last you a lifetime. Several, if you're talented.